I'm back with another agency update, and this time I'm holding a coffee cup in my hand so you know I'm serious and you know what I'm talking about, although I have finished the coffee and it's empty, but it's just really a prop. Thanks for watching. My name's Gavin. I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and in today's video, I'm gonna give you an update on my agency for the month of September. Now, at the time of recording, it is October 1st, 2025, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you know I record monthly updates in terms of what my business is doing, what I'm struggling with, what I'm working on, how much money we've made, really just to give you guys some insights into what I'm doing as a business owner, and hopefully provide you guys with some feedback and just strategy and tips that you can use for your own agency. So at the time of recording, we have done this month, or rather September, 83,000 NZD, which is roughly $50,000 US for the month. And we pulled in about 47K profit New Zealand, which is roughly about 23,000 US profit. Now, unfortunately, my goal for this month was for us to hit 120,000 New Zealand dollars, which would have been roughly really like 90K US. And we didn't hit it. Some of the things we've really been struggling with this month, and this is how I always do these videos, revenue at the front, things I'm struggling with, and then things I'm working on in the coming month, have been staff. We've had a lot of issues with hiring good people. And I'm gonna make a video about this separately where I talk through my exact process for hiring good people and figuring out if they're good in the first place. But the thing that we've been struggling with really is finding a good copywriter. And what we find is that we're hiring people too late. We're hiring people when we really, really need them, whereas we should be hiring them before we really, really need them. We have all of our clients, we're working, things are good, we're steady, and then we get 2 or 3 more clients that come on board. And what happens is all of a sudden we have a bunch of work that is urgent. And what then happens is we have to immediately chuck new people into the process, which makes them get confused and rushed and not able to fully acclimate to the work that we need them to do. So what we need to start doing going forward pretty consistently is making sure that when we hire somebody, not immediately when we need them, but when we think we're gonna need them in the future, ideally 2 weeks beforehand, to gradually ease them into the process. The only problem with that I'm really struggling with is it messes with cash flow. So if we hire somebody and we don't necessarily need them until 2 weeks, we're still having to pay for their salary and pay them to be on board when we're not exactly making any money off of them because we don't have the new clients in. And it's really this constant to and fro that I'm finding with the business, where on a month-by-month basis, we need to constantly adjust what we're actually really revenue and profit, right? Where, we can have either a really good profit month or a really good revenue month. And by that, I mean, we can have a great profit month and not take on any new clients and keep our profit margins fat, or we can take on more clients, hire more people to predict the increased workflow and make our margins even thinner. And it's this constant to and fro that we have to balance when we're growing. So the biggest thing we're struggling with is hiring, and we need to build out our SOPs for when we actually send tests to people, which is something I need to work on. But in terms of what we're doing for getting new clients and new leads, we're still going really hard on YouTube. So I'm still producing 6 videos every single week across both my channels, this channel and my email marketing channel. We're still ripping the Upwork strategy that we've always been doing, and you can find a bunch of videos talking about my Upwork strategy on there. We've also started rolling out cold email as a service offering. Email marketing for e-commerce businesses, but we've had a bunch of inbound leads coming in asking us for B2B cold email services, and we know how to do it, we're good at it. So what I've done is I've built a sub team and built a bunch of sub SOPs to build out that side of my business. The future plan for my agency is I want to have 2 parts of the agency. One focusing on warm email, e-commerce, newsletters, that kind of stuff, and then one focusing on cold email. You get the idea, right? And then we have 2 sub teams working on 2 different aspects of what we sell. We're working on that actively, and we've got 4 clients on board for cold email, and so we're actively growing that as much as we can. I mean, I'm really trying to get us to 100K a month by the end of the year, USD. And I think to grow, we need to actually start hitting that pretty consistently as well. If you recall in our last update, you'll have recalled that I said we're gonna be investing in SEO for my agency, really trying to increase the organic traffic on our website. Unfortunately, the agency that we hired to bring on board has had a massive change, and they don't want to do the work that we had for them anymore, which sucks. The great thing is though, they did a month's worth of work up until this point, and we'd signed on for a 6-month contract. They have terminated that contract, meaning they have to refund us the money that we paid for that previous month's work. So we essentially got a month's worth of work for free, which is cool. We'll get an extra $3,000 US back into our bank account. Still a bit of a shame because I really was looking forward to growing our organic presence, but I've decided really, after trying a whole range of different lead magnets and client acquisition strategies, I've decided to really just stick with YouTube and pushing people to my newsletter. That's my main focus right now, and I think if we keep growing that, that's gonna be my lead generation strategy for the rest of the year. I find creating organic content not easy, but definitely something that I am able to lend myself quite naturally to, and I'm seeing the best ROI there so far. So rather than like spreading my bets in other directions, I'm just gonna double down on my winners. So the agency is doing well. I mean, I'm happy with our profit margins. We're coming into Black Friday, and one thing that you need to do is ensure that you have set teams within your agency if you have a productized service, meaning your service you can sell multiple times to multiple people, little customization to the point where it's really hard to manage multiple clients. For example, my service offering, we have customization in it, but we're able to scale it pretty sustainably with the level of customization that our clients need, while also making it relatively productized that we can sell it again and again and again at scale. So if you recall, I currently have 2 full-time project managers, 3 full-time graphic designers, 1 full-time copywriter, 2 part-time copywriters, and 3 full-time builders. What that means for my email and SMS marketing agency is we're able to have 3 different pods. One pod for one of my project managers has his own copywriter, his own designer, his own builder. My pod, exact same thing, and our third pod, exact same thing. What that allows my project managers to do is confidently plan their team's workload without thinking that some other project manager is going to assign members in their team more work as well. It allows us to balance the workload really, really nicely, because the last thing you want is for somebody to say, hey, project manager 1, designer, I need you to quickly whip this design out. And they're like, oh, well, hey, I actually have another task from a different project manager. And it causes all sorts of confusion because now the project managers don't know who's working on what. Having them all aligned and working on one team specifically, so having like a designer and a copywriter and a builder working with only one project manager, allows that project manager easily reassign and allocate tasks differently. For the most part though, that is what we're gonna be doing to scale going forward. We're managing the transition and ensuring that our pods are fixed going forward, because really what's been happening is when we grew, we just had to fill people where we could. And now we're getting to a point where we're pretty consistent and steady, and we can condense that and make sure it's a lot tighter going forward. Overall, agency's good, profit margins are good. I would like us to ramp up a little bit more, but I'm gonna keep hitting the YouTube content, keep pushing people to my newsletter, link in the description, by the way, and really just keep steady. I think one thing that I've constantly had to remind myself of in this journey is that slow and steady wins the race. As cliche as that sounds, I've had so many goddamn times where I've been like, oh, I need to go quicker, I need to go quicker, I need to grow quicker. And what ends up happening is quality gets compromised, results are compromised, things get flatlined, and it's just not a healthy way to grow. And so we're growing slow but steady. And that just looks like us taking on clients where we can, making sure our SOPs are constantly being updated and our processes are constantly being updated, and keeping a really close eye on the quality of work that we're delivering. And so far, so good. I think, last month was a bit crazy. Overall, I'm happy with where we're at. Business is doing well, and big things that I'm kind of working on for this month is, let me show you. One thing I highly recommend doing, by the way, is planning out your month every single month, and I've got to plan out my one next month. But things I'm focusing on this week, really hiring another full-time copywriter, and also starting cold email for Inbox, the email marketing agency. One thing I've noticed a lot of agencies don't do, especially in the email marketing space, is try and white label, or rather have their agency be white labeled to other agencies. When you're a niche marketing agency, i.e. you only do TikTok Shop, Meta ads, or a specific type or aspect of the overall marketing strategy, you need to really keep in mind that there are other agencies that are bigger than you that sell full service solutions. So currently we're white labeled to about 4 different agencies right now. And these 4 different agencies sell to their clients a holistic solution to their overall marketing strategy. For example, they come in and they say, hey, we're gonna do your Meta ads, we're gonna do your Google ads, we're gonna do your email marketing, your SEO, and your on-page optimization. The reality is these agencies don't have capacity to do all that work, and what they do is they outsource it to other agencies. We are being outsourced in that exact same fashion to 4 other agencies. And it's great because these agencies can typically give you 4 to 5 clients. There is the downside sometimes of having to bend and mold your SOPs a little bit, but for the most part, it's a great way to get quick cash and consistent cash on scale, or end scale rather. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be doing cold email, yes, pitching to e-commerce clients, but also pitching specifically to agencies to help them run their Black Friday strategies for their client from an email perspective. And that's what we're working on. I'm looking forward to it. If you have any questions about what I'm doing as a business owner, chuck them down below. I answer anything and everything that you guys have. If you like the channel, subscribe. And if you do want to give me money, there's no way. I'm not really selling anything on this channel, but we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.